Day number 1 of competition continues here at the 2023 NOBULL CrossFit Games from Madison, Wisconsin, as we have moved inside the North Park at the Alliant Energy Center. I'm Sean Woodland with Chase Ingram. We have Nikki Brazier down on the field here as we get set for the pig chipper.
Oh yeah, just bringing it back to some classic chipper here at the North Park Stadium, starting with those 10 pig flips into 25 chest to bar pull-ups, 50 toes to bar, 100 wall ball shots, and then work your way back.
270 total reps, 18-minute time cap. Your recipe for success delivered by Trifecta.
Be wary of your rest time. We're going to take some breaks, some intentional breaks, but keep an eye on the clock. You can lose time when it comes to big sets and big breaks, and save some for the turn. Those last 10 pig flips are going to decide the winner.
Let's send it down to Nikki Brazier.
Guys, what is the return of the pig down here? This is the 5th year that we've seen the pig show up at the CrossFit Games, and this is the point in competition where we get to see how much experience matters. The pig was not in the warm-up area, so for many of these rookie athletes, it may be the first time that they ever get a chance to flip the pig. We'll see if any of the returning Games athletes have an easier time on the way down and on the way back.
2 heats of 20 women here in test number 2, the second of 3 tests that the individuals will face here on day number 2. Olivia Kerstetter will be in lane 8, one of the youngest competitors here in the field, a former teenage champion making her individual debut.
But one of the strongest in the field, that in 2021 she had the heaviest snatch of any athlete out here on the floor.
Bethany Flores making her return to the CrossFit Games. She's been battling some back problems this season. This is the heaviest implement right now that she will lift that we know of, so we'll be keeping an eye on her, especially in the opening portion of this test. 10 flips on that 350-pound pig. And down in lane number 4 is Abigail Doman. She's out early here, as are Emily Turner and Olivia Kerstetter.
When you look at a down and back chipper in this pyramid style, these first 10 flips, we said this before the year, it's not going to win you the test, but it will potentially blow you up for the middle gymnastics portions. There is it's heavy. We think about the back, we think about the posterior chain and the glutes and hamstrings and back erectors, but what this does to your grip, if you do not have good technique, will wreck the rest of this test, especially with the 150 reps of gymnastics we have on the pull-up rig after this.
Kerstetter and Sydney Wells in lanes 8 and 14. So take a look at Olivia Kerstetter.
One thing with Kerstetter, she's the youngest athlete in the field. She's been dominating the team division for the last couple of years, qualified for the first time individually. Known a lot for her strengths, but she's got a decent engine. She won the worldwide quarterfinal test of that 20-minute AMRAP of the Road GHD Olympiads.
25 chest to bar pull-ups now. Olivia Kerstetter in the blue top and gray shorts will be the first to start those. And now Sydney Wells moving to the pull-up bar, and Ellie Turner as well. And then down in lane number 20, Michelle Basnet is done with her 10 pig flips. 270 total reps. Keep an eye on our scoring hat. Your leader in the heat will have her name on the far left side, and the number in the white box will indicate how many repetitions that woman has completed. The number in the white box next to everyone else's name will indicate how many reps they are behind of the leader.
Kerstetter opened with a set of 15, then finished with a set of 10, so she's at 35 reps plus the 10 pig flips she was doing, so she's going to advance to those 50 toes to bar.
Kerstetter getting to work on the toes to bar, but the 85 rep mark is when she will move to the wall balls. Sydney Wells and Bethany Flores sit second and third. Victoria Campos has moved into the top 5 as well.
Kerstetter with a set of 10 to open things up, and you got to be careful not to get wrapped up into the moment and the people around you. 50 toes to bar for these elite athletes may not seem like a lot, but when you double it on the backside of 100, plus the additional totality of the 50 chest to bar pull-ups, almost look at the bulk set as the way you approach these movements rather than their individual broken up sets.
Ellie Turner on the right side of your screen is on the toes to bar. Complete 50 reps here. Sydney Wells has now pulled even with Olivia Kerstetter.
Ellie Turner in lane 7 is an athlete to keep your eye on. Once we get to the wall ball portion of this test, 100 reps, 14-pound ball to a 9-foot target. That is so short for these elite athletes. Last year they had to go to a higher target. When we think about that test called hat trick, which she crushed when she cycled those wall balls.
Kerstetter has 20 reps remaining in the set of 50. Sydney Wells looking to overtake Kerstetter for the lead in this first of 2 heats. Wells making her first career appearance here at the CrossFit Games. We're used to seeing her twin sister competing here. Brooke Wells, who's done extremely well here at the CrossFit Games, did not qualify this year. Bethany Flores on the right side. Now your leader. Once she hits the 85 rep mark, she will be done. Flores will now be the first to the wall balls.
And people may forget because she's been injured or missed competition over the last couple of years, but going into the 2021 season, it was her, Carrie Pierce, and Danielle Brandon, who were all in the mix of being podium contenders in 2021. Of course, she missed after not being able to compete on a medical withdrawal, but Bethany has been greatly improving over the couple of years, taking 5th this year at her semifinal in a very casual way. She can keep her all together. She's a dangerous athlete out there.
Flores and Wells are the only 2 women on the wall balls right now. Once they hit the 185 rep mark, as Flores now has 83, 82 before she'll get there, they'll turn back and go back through the chipper.
Set of 20 for Flores. When you look at the middle portion of this, Sean, 100 wall ball shots, everyone's like, all right, we went from the pulling, grippy stuff to the legs. And it's usually the legs that are not the problem when it comes to cycling high volume wall ball shots. The amount of upper body fatigue and interference in this test, from the pig flips to the chest to bar to the toes to bar, the shoulders and biceps when it comes to these wall ball shots are what usually limits people's ability to do big sets.
Shelby Neal is the athlete who's right there with Sydney Wells. Now Emma McQuaid on the right side with Bethany Flores. Flores still your leader on the left through 122 of the 270 total reps. Emily Rolfe, meanwhile, and Bailey Rail are starting to move up.
Looks like Bethany is right past the 40 mark. Wells had got 1 more on her. So a lot of these athletes are sticking with sets of 20.
Olivia Kerstetter starting to make up some ground as well. And Kerstetter has now moved ahead of Flores and Wells by a couple of reps. And now Wells taking a break.
This middle portion, 100 wall balls, this is really the part where people should take their time a little bit. I know that sounds a little obvious, like, hey, don't go too fast here. But what you do here on the wall ball shots will vastly affect of what happens on the back half. We talked about the recipe of success is saving some for the turn. This is the turn portion. There's 20 pigs out there weighing 350 pounds with 10 reps to get to the finish line. Everything you do from this point going forward needs to set you up for success for those last 10 reps.
Olivia Kerstetter back in 3rd place. For more on her, let's go down to Nikki Brazier.
I had a chance to catch up with Olivia before the start of competition. I asked her about her mindset and her feelings before everything kicked off. She told me that this truly feels like such an amazing opportunity and experience for her, and she's really just trying to soak it all in and have fun, because really, you only get 1 rookie year. She is prepared, though. She trained all summer with the Proven crew and had a lot of fun, did a lot of hard work with them, so she really felt ready to take this on.
Right now, Olivia Kerstetter back in the lead through 164 of the 270 reps at the 185 mark. That's when she will head back to the pull-up bar and work her way back through the chipper, beginning with 50 toes to bar.
And you'll see this with some of the athletes that have maybe a bit more of a bias to a certain aspect. Maybe you're a stronger, bigger athlete. Maybe you're more gymnastics. The way this test shakes out in this chipper is that you'll see some movement up and down with some of those more specialized athletes versus the one that have the best of both worlds.
Sydney Wells, Bethany Flores, and Olivia Kerstetter have been trading the lead here on this portion of the second test. Wells only has now 6 remaining.
So a quick break there, which is 5 reps left. Again, not necessarily a bad break. What we had coming out with the 25 chest bar and the 50 toes bar, now we're going 50 to 25. Big difference on the return trip to those pigs.
Wells is the first athlete to make the turn. Kerstetter and Flores both done. Bailey Rail and Emily Rolfe look to be the next to finish.
Your top athletes coming out the toes bar. We're doing about sets of 10, 5 sets of 10 on the 50 coming in.
See, 235 reps, pardon me, Chase. That's what they need to hit before they move to the chest bar.
Well, if you look at the technique between, especially Sydney Wells and Flores, is Bethany is basically just dead hanging from the bottom, and she has the flexibility and core strength to just pick those toes up with not a lot of movement, where Sydney Wells is quite the opposite. She has a nice big swing kick, and it's not necessarily one is better than the other, it's which one is better for me as an individual athlete than the other.
A lot of athletes using grips to protect their hands. The Bear Complex is giving viewers of the 2023 NOBULL CrossFit Games 20% off site at bearcomplex.com.
And the thing of those grips, Sean, is that just grips in general, this allows you to hang onto the pull-up bar much better than just with your bare hands, which actually went into the reason why they had that grip change rule from semifinals to the CrossFit Games.
Sydney Wells through 210 of the 270 reps. She's got 25 toes to bar remaining.
Bethany is still stacking with that minor kip, and that kip could either be a product of that's what's more comfortable for her, and it also could be is that maybe for Bethany, when you give her that really big extended, hyper-extended kip swing position, that might not be the best thing for her.
Olivia Kerstetter back in the lead, chalking up her hands left side to your screen. Emily Rolfe is starting to gain some ground as well. Rolfe in the top 5 right now.
Look at a big set of toes to bar. Don't sleep on Rolfe. She won the 2021 test where it was the running and 30 toes to bar for 3 sets. So she has great endurance capacity, but also good volume capacity when it comes to toes to bar.
There's Bailey Rail, who now sits in 4th place in this first of 2 heats. 235 reps, that's the mark they need to hit before you start your second and final set of chest to bar pull-ups.
Bailey Rail again, this is what got her to the CrossFit Games to begin with, was that final test in semifinals that had 3 sets of 20 toes to bar. And she had to basically win it outright, which involved sending 3 unbroken sets of toes to bar just to qualify to the CrossFit Games. So she definitely has a good capacity for high volume gymnastics.
Bailey Rail has moved into a battle for the lead right now. Bethany Flores is now on to the chest to bar pull-up. She got through 4 reps before taking a break to chalk up her hands. Now Bailey Rail will start her chest to bar pull-ups, and it's important for Bailey Rail to do well on these portions. That pig weighs 350 pounds. She's only 135 pounds.
I mean, triple body weight pig flip. No, thank you.
We talked to Adrian Bosman, competition director, yesterday about this test in particular, and he said a lot of people who tested this did very well until they got to the second set of pig flips and got pinned by the pig.
That's a big part of this competition in general, is that you got to look at what the critical element of the test actually is. It's not necessarily gymnastics, monostructure, or weightlifting as a modality that's the critical element, but a piece of equipment or a particular skill or some particular movement. When you're an athlete's got to the pig first and got capped by the end of this. So it's not about who gets there first, but how they got there in the first place.
Bethany Flores will get back to the pig first. And now here comes
Bethany's running
Bailey Rail. It's like Bethany gonna get a little more chalk on the hands. Dry off her forearms a little bit. Bailey Rail belting up.
A lot of time lost on that. But for 10 flips and the amount of time it takes, it's a good move if you just need to have that.
Well, Kerstetter and Rolf are now both done, and Bailey Rail has that first pig flip done. Now Bethany Flores will get to work. Kerstetter belting up, and Emily Rolf walking down to the pig. 2 down for Bailey Rail. Now Olivia Kerstetter getting to work. Far side of the field in the blue and gray.
Matches up with Flores already. Flores has only got one in, and Kerstetter already hitting the second one.
Olivia Kerstetter continuing to work here. And Kerstetter is in the lead. 3 women have started their final set of pig flips. Bailey Rail in second, and Bethany Flores in third, and now Emily Rolf is onto her first flip. Kerstetter left side, Rail on the right. You can see Bethany Flores in the background there on the box on the left side of your screen. Kerstetter continuing to work here. She has 5 reps remaining. Shelby Neal, Sydney Wells, and Emma McQuaid are on to the pig as well. Kelly Baker. She's on the top of your screen, far side of the field.
And Kerstetter took one small break after the set of 5. But what she's been doing now is that thing ticks over the top. She'll just walk up and put her hands underneath right away. It's almost like if you got a barbell where you're doing singles and you're not taking that step back, you're just staying flat-footed over it. It just helps them keep those rest periods short. So what we said at the top of the test.
Final rep for Olivia Kerstetter, and she is going to take heat number 1. Kerstetter coming into time with 15 minutes, 49.36 seconds as Bailey Rail right now is your leader on the field. Emily Rolf has now moved into third just ahead of Bethany Flores.
I'm impressed with Bailey Rail. It hasn't been terribly fast, but it's been very consistent.
And Bailey Rail up and over for her final rep, and she's going to take second place in this heat. 135 pounds, and she did a very nice job on that 350-pound pig. When you feel like trying this at home, drag your refrigerator outside and flip it around the street and see how that feels.
Maybe unhook the water connection first.
Emily Rolf is now across. Third place for her in the heat.
Sydney Wells is making a bit of a move on Bethany Flores.
This is the final rep for each of them, and Flores gets off first, and she will edge out Wells for 4th place in the heat. 17:03.18, 7/10 of a second ahead of Sydney Wells. Shelby Neal is now the leader out there, and her pig is
sideways,
looking like it might go into the other lane, and she's trying to adjust it there as it tips over. Ellie Turner in lane 7 just completed her final flip, and Turner's going to get across ahead of Shelby Neal. Fisa Gaffi is now your leader on the floors. We have just 20 seconds remaining. Sagaffi with 1 flip left. One of the smaller athletes in the field for Fisa Gaffi. She has got to be pleased with this performance.
Well, she needs a good performance after what happened in test number 1 in Ryan.
Visa Goffey's done, and she's going to sneak in inside the time cap with about 5 seconds to spare. And that will do it. Olivia Kerstetter sets the time to beat, 15 minutes, 49.36 seconds for the 17-year-old. One heat remains. Olivia Kerstetter looking to pick up her first test win as an individual here at the CrossFit Games. We'll be back with more action here from Madison, Wisconsin in just a second. One heat down, one remains here for the women in test number 2. The second of 3 tests that the individual athletes will face here on the opening day of competition at the 2023 NOBULL CrossFit Games. I'm Sean Woodland with Chase Ingram. Nikki Brazier is down on the competition floor. Test number 2, the bikes are gone, but the pigs are here.
Pigs are here and a lot of gymnastics on the rig. 10 pig flips at 350 pounds, 25 chest to bar, 50 toes to bar, 100 wall ball shots in the middle, 14-pound wall to a 9-foot target. Work your way back to the finish line.
Recipe for success delivered by Trifecta.
Be wary of your rest time. If you're taking breaks on the pig, make sure you know what the clock is doing. Don't just sit there in your head. Time is an illusion out here on the North Park field. Save some for the turn, because those last 10 pig flips are going to be that deciding factor.
Let's bring in the third member of our team, Nikki Brazier, down on the field.
Thank you, Sean. Well, Heat 1 showed us just how devastating the pig can be. Coming in at 6'10" and 350 pounds. Wasn't necessarily the way down the field that really slowed down the athletes, but the way back, where many of them were buried. Several of the athletes in Heat 1 did not finish this test before the time cap.
Only 8 women able to get inside the 18-minute time cap. 20 more athletes on the field here, and keep an eye in the middle, lanes 9, 10, and 11. 3 women who are all looking at finishing on top of the podium on Sunday. Annie Thorstadter, Gabby McGowan, and Laura Horvath.
Gabby McGowan and Laura Horvath, 5th and 6th. Gabby McGowan got 5th place in this. Annie Thorstadter with 11. She's back in individual competition for the first time since 2021. And this is a test that shakes out well for all 3 of these athletes.
We are underway. Second and final heat. Time to beat belongs to 17-year-old Olivia Kerstetter. 15 minutes, 49.36 seconds. Right away, it's Annie Thorstadter. Out front early along with Laura Horvath in the middle of the field.
And looking very smooth. Horvath lost her grip a little bit on that second pig flip, and that's what happens. You don't really get a good grip with this pig. It's almost a fingertip grip. Think about if you were to do a pull-up on a door frame type of grip. It's going to tax the forearms, it's going to tax the biceps, all of which you need for those middle 150 gymnastic reps on the rig.
Horvath, Thorstadter, and Alex Gazan, your top 3 right now. 10 total flips here. Scoring hat on top of your screen. The athlete on the far left side is your leader, and the number in the white box will indicate how many repetitions that athlete has completed. The number in the white box next to all the other athletes' names is how many reps they are behind.
Annie thought she had done 10 and had to take a second to come back and do that final flip.
Horvath and Thorstadter, first 2 women to the 25 chest-to-bar pull-ups.
And that's when it pays to be a veteran in the sport for so long between these 2 athletes. As Nikki said earlier, there is no pig in the warm-up area. Unless somehow you have one of these or built one of these for home. Like, these aren't for sale. Like, this is all they have, is kind of what Boz told us the other night. So unless you have experience with this in competition at the CrossFit Games, you don't have an advantage when it comes to those pig flips.
Alex Kazan is the 3rd woman to the chest-to-bar pull-ups, along with Christine Kohlenbrand. 35 reps is what they need to complete before they will get to work on the 50 toes to bar. And now Thorstadter and Horvath are both working on those. 85 is the number that Horvath is looking to get to move on to the 100 wall balls.
Top time set by Olivia Kirchner in number 1 of 15 minutes.
And Thorsauter is right up there with Laura Horvath. I don't think her numbers are actually getting registered at the moment. They're rep for rep at this point in time.
270 total reps here in the pig chipper. Alex Kazan on the left side of your screen, currently behind Horvath and Thorisdottir.
Very curious to see how Kazan builds off that finish in semifinals this year. She was a rookie last year. You see those rookies at the CrossFit Games, they get a little big-eyed, and that performance doesn't really indicate their ability. But how she did in semifinals this year, I'm very curious to see that leap she takes from year 1 to year 2.
And Thorisdottir is now neck and neck with Laura Horvath on the right side of your screen. Thorisdottir, a two-time champion, won the CrossFit Games in 2011 and 2012. She's the only woman to compete in 3 different decades here at the Games.
Stood on the podium in 3 different places as well. I think she's 2 for 2 for all first, seconds, and thirds.
Christine Kohlenbrander has started to put some pressure on Horvath and Thorisdottir. Kohlenbrander made her first individual appearance at the CrossFit Games last year, finished 27th overall. And Thorisdottir is now on to the wall balls. The 100 reps that she needs to complete. And Thorisdottir is the only woman on this portion of the test.
For these elite athletes, 100 wall ball shots, 14-pound ball to a 9-foot target is a minor inconvenience at best for them. And this is not where you're going to pull away from the rest of the field, but this is an opportunity for these athletes to just kind of settle down, get their breathing back, get their heart rate under control.
Approaching the 5-minute mark here. Timing is presented by G-Shock, the official watch of the NOBULL CrossFit Games.
Trying to apply a little bit of pressure, and she knocks out a big chunk of reps.
Sean, as you're looking at Amy Thorisdottir on the left, Emma Carey sitting on the right. Emma Carey took dead last in test number 1 this morning, and she's one of those athletes that had top 10, maybe outside chance of podium potential, so she's got a big hole to climb out of this weekend.
Laura Horvath and Amy Thorisdottir are your leaders right now in this second heat. Christine Kohlenbrander is in the top 3, and Emma Carey is starting to make a charge here as well. Emma Carey in lane number 8.
Kohlenbrander just 4 reps behind Laura Horvath. Laura Horvath just a few reps behind your current leader, Amy Thorisdottir.
So your top athletes in the previous heat all doing sets of 20.
Emma Carey on the right side is challenging for the top spot in this heat. 15 minutes, 49.36 seconds is your top score from Olivia Kerstetter in heat number 1.
Carey holds the med ball where those hands are fairly narrow, flares her elbows out a lot. When you do that, you're actually taking away from the chest and shoulders ability to press and push that wall ball, and it's just going straight to the triceps and the back of the shoulders. Is that going to mess up your toe spot and chest part? No. Is it going to have an effect on the pig later? Yes.
Thorisdottir taking a break in the middle of your screen. Emma Carey continuing to work.
Just starting their journey here with game number 1 competition, looking to crown Fittest on Earth at the end of Sunday. And you know, there's a lot of work that stands.
So Carey is about 70 reps in, Horvath 10 behind her, Raptis and Kazan all within about 5 reps. Emma Carey is trying to make a move here in the 100 wall ball shots.
Top athletes on the screen right now. As Annie Thorisdottir trying to hang on to the lead that she built in the opening portion of this test. Christine Kohlenbrander on the left side toward the top three.
You can see a good difference of just levers, like the length that Annie Thorisdottir has to go to get below that, in that below parallel position versus Emma Carey.
Emma Carey back to work right side of your screen. She had a rough go in the opening test, so she really needs to have a strong performance here to start working her way up the standings. Obviously, it is early, but you never want to start in that hole after just one test. And now Emma Carey, first woman back to the pull-up bar, followed closely by the former two-time fittest woman on earth, Annie Thorisdottir.
And Annie Thorisdottir is very steady, very smooth, ability to kind of catch your breath, let your heart rate settle down. Emma Carey pushed those 100 wall ball shots extremely hard. But that's the athlete that she is. I mean, you hear Matt Torres talk about almost having to control her intensity, that she doesn't really feel pain or is afraid of going to that dark place. And that's all good and well. But if that dark place is going to hurt you on the back end of this race, it's not worth it.
50 reps here on the toes to bar. Thorisdottir and Carey, the only two women to have made the turn. Get your official 2023 NOBULL CrossFit Games gear and score a bonus gift with the purchase. Scan the QR code now to redeem and view terms and conditions. Christine Kohlenbrander is now onto the toes to bars. Laura Horvath is there as well. And Ariel Lowen, we'll keep an eye on her. On the far end of the field from Christine Kohlenbrander.
Thorisdottir has quite the lead over Horvath and Kohlenbrander. Rolling the first athlete over to that 350-pound pig.
Emma Carey taking another break. She and Annie Thorisdottir, the first two women to start their second and final set of 50 toes to bar. There is Ariel Lowen. Lowen making her third straight appearance here at the CrossFit Games. Her best finish was last year. She took 11th place overall.
They are going rep for rep. It is Annie who jumps down for a quick break. Emma Carey chipping away.
Approaching the 10-minute mark, 18-minute time cap here, and it's Olivia Kerstetter who does have the top score from heat number one, 15 minutes, 49.36 seconds.
Carey dropping down to sets of 5, and she only have 5 more toes to bar to go. Annie Thorisdottir, but it's 3 reps behind her.
Carey is now done with her second set of toes to bar. Got through those in about 2.5 minutes. Christine Kohlenbrander currently sits in a battle for third place with Ariel Lowen. They're separated by about a rep. And it's now Emma Carey gets to work on her set of 25 chest to bar pull-ups.
Got about 10 reps on that first set from Emma Carey, right side box, left side of Annie Thorisdottir. Big set of 10 to start for Carey. Annie Thorisdottir right about 7. As far as the time between these two, we talked about the race at the pig. Emma Carey was about 30 to 35 seconds slower than Annie's 10 flips. So if that remains the same, if Annie stays within about 30 seconds of Emma out of these chest to bar pull-ups, she has the potential to pass her in the last 10 flips. 260 reps is the mark that Emma Carey needs to get to. She is done. And now 10 final pig flips for Emma Carey, a former teenage champion, finished first in the 14 to 15-year-old division in 2019. Made her individual debut in 2021, took 16th overall. And then last year, a back injury forced her to take the season off.
Remember, she's got to take down 15:49.
350 pounds on the pig. Emma Carey trying to chase down Olivia Kerstetter here. Annie Thorisdottir is getting close to finishing. She's in her final 3 reps.
Now, way ahead of Thorsdottir, but she's taken enough of a break to open that door a little bit for Annie to possibly catch her.
And that was a fight for Emma Carey. She's got 9 reps left, and now Annie Thorsdottir is done. Thorsdottir will be the second woman to the pig.
And look how wide her feet, oh wow. And Sean, we talked about this in Heat 1. It doesn't matter how fast you get to the pig. It matters how you got to the pig.
Here comes Laura Horvath
And
to join Thorsdottir and Carey.
What a move! Just pick it up right in her face.
Emma Carey's just watching Laura Horvath rip through 2 reps, and now 3 for Laura Horvath. Annie Thorsdottir is getting to work. Ariel Lowen is also on the pig, but Laura Horvath is leaving everybody behind right now.
Someone check the weight in that pig for Horvath.
She's got 5 reps remaining as Laura Horvath, and she has more than 2.5 minutes to go before the top time from Olivia Kerstetter hits.
Horvath in check-in said, I'm paraphrasing here, Sean, I'm here to F some stuff up. And that she is in this test.
One final rep for Laura Horvath, looking to pick up the test win here in the pig chipper. And she will do it. 100 points for Laura Horvath.
With a smile on her face.
Ariel Lowen has moved into second place. She's at the top part of your screen. Horvath by more than 2 minutes.
So Lowen has passed Thorsdottir and Carey, and in the back bottom middle part of your screen in the blue hat is Alexis Raptis. Raptis, who got 4th this morning in the bike ride. Horvath got 6th in this. If Raptis can get inside either Ariel Lowen's time or Kerstetter's time, she actually may find herself in first place after this test.
Well, Ariel Lowen is done, so she's going to take second place in the test and second place in the heat, as now Olivia Kerstetter's time slides to 3rd.
Great finish for Lowen. If you look forward to the final event of the day with that gymnastics skills test, and I'm looking right at Ariel Lowen as one of those that could have a top 3 finish in that one as well.
Raptis only has a couple of reps remaining here. That's her final one, and she's done. So Raptis is across, and that'll be good enough for a 3rd place finish in the test. As Horvath, Lowen, and Raptis all get in ahead of the top time from Olivia Kerstetter. Emma Carey is on her final flip. And now Emma Carey will come across, and Carey will take 4th place in the test as she is able to beat Kerstetter as well. Christine Kohlenbrander and Annie Thorsdottir and Alex Gazan, your leaders on the field.
And look at Annie Thorsdottir, top part of your screen. We talked about the back half. Save some for the return. The last 10 flips for Annie are a drastic difference in the first.
And it's Alex Gazan who's going to win that battle. So Gazan is in. 5th place in the heat, 6th in the test, and here comes Annie Thorsdottir. It's good enough for an 8th place finish in this test for Thorsdottir. There's Emma Tall. Less than 90 seconds to go before we hit the 18-minute time cap. Renan Enganez is in.
Emma Lawson.
Emma Lawson, who won the opening test. That's why she's wearing the leader's jersey. Overall leader will always be dressed in white and red. Lawson is done. Lawson will take 10th in the heat, 15th place in the test. And here comes Gabby McGowan. 30 seconds to go before we hit the time cap. Paige Powers is on her final flip, and she'll get in with time to spare. Danielle Brandon is in. Karine Freova, your leader on the field right now, and she will sneak in.
3, 2, 1.
And that will do it. But Laura Horvath just demolishing this test. 13 minutes, 50.40 seconds. The only woman to go sub 14, and she beat Olivia Kerstetter's top time from heat 1 by more than 2 minutes.
And Laura Horvath wasn't even in the conversation on the back half of this test. It was all Emma Carey's late charge on Annie Thorstadter. But the second rep for Emma failed it on the second one. And then here comes Laura Horvath, who just big pig moved everybody and put it on the table for the last 10 reps and beat the next closest athlete by almost a minute at the end. Take note, gentlemen, coming up after this. Whatever she did, do the same thing.
Let's send it down to Nikki Brazier with your test winner.
Laura, did they forget to fill your pig? I mean, you really approached it and had no problem with it at a time when many of your other competitors were stopped. How were you able to push through on the back half of this test?
To be honest, when the first time I picked it up, because we didn't have to eat in the warm-up area. So I remember from last year we had to do 20 straight, so I thought it was going to be heavier, to be honest. It was surprisingly lighter on the way there. On the way back, no, it was heavier. They filled it.
Take us through your morning so far, coming from the bike event to here. How is your body holding up? Where are you feeling the most wear and tear?
I feel great. I just ready to go. I was surprised we only started Thursday and not Wednesday, because every year I was here, we only started on Wednesday. So I'm just here and I'm ready to go and attack every workout.
Love it. Hungry for it. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
7th career win for Laura Horvath, 13:50.40 seconds. Ariel Lowen with a late charge. She's going to take second place, followed by Alexis Raptis and Emma Carey. And it's Olivia Kerstetter who will finish 5th after winning heat number 1. Women are done. Men coming up next as they take on the Pig Chipper here at the North Park at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison, Wisconsin. Stay with us, everybody, as our coverage continues at the 2023 NOBULL CrossFit Games.